Welcome into today's broadcast right here at Cog Hill Farm. Now, Peaches wouldn't let Nugget into the house for this episode, so here's Jason, Brooke, and our chicken master, Marycarl.
What is up, everybody? This is another episode of the Cogcast podcast, episode number 63.
You just told me 64, I think.
No, I said 63, I thought. You don't remember? Maybe it is 64. We're going to look real quick so we'll make sure. Shows you where our brains are. I know the podcasts are all out of whack.
Well, I'm going to tell you.
Tell me.
I thought we were in the 40s.
Did you really?
Yes. When you said 60-something, I was like, 60-something? Because I remember saying, okay, it's 63.
63.
63. Okay, sorry about that.
Oh, me. It's crazy right now. We're on the home stretch.
We are. Just about the only thing left in this house is this table we're sitting at.
Yes.
The bed behind us that we
Yes.
have just about decided we're going to leave the mattress here.
We're thinking we may leave that mattress here.
We won't need it for our new house. We're not going to have a dormer. We're not going to have any need for a twin bed. So,
No. Well, you did mention maybe in the third bedroom that we're going to use as the office, we may use a twin bed.
But you know what I started thinking about? We
What's
have
that?
that iron bed that was my great-great-great-granddaddy's,
Yes.
and I'd like to use it in there.
I thought Marycarl was going to get that one.
Marycarl's going to get a new set of furniture.
Okay.
So I was thinking that we would use that instead, but I don't know. I'll ask the new owners if they would want us to leave it.
Okay.
And if they can use it, then we will leave it there.
And I also thought about maybe getting a sleeper couch for the office area.
Yeah, that would be a good idea too. I just don't think we're going to need
I
twin.
don't think we're going to need a twin bed in there.
And we have another one that's in the other dormer
Yep.
that we took my mom's bed down and packed it away, and she's sleeping on that twin mattress
Yeah.
on the floor.
Right.
So we could have everything packed away, and we might just bring it back if they want it
Yeah.
and put it back in that dormer. The little girl could play on it if nothing else.
That's right.
Even if she didn't want to sleep in it, she could play on it. And I'll ask them because I don't want to leave something that somebody doesn't really want.
That's right.
And they have to dispose of.
They have to deal with it. Exactly.
Somebody made the comment that when we moved this bed, I just told you this and you laughed.
It's funny. It's funny.
They made the comment that when we move this bed behind us, that we're going to find Jason's glasses. I don't know about that, but I do know that I started thinking about his glasses the other day, and
Yeah.
I kind of realized that we're probably not going to find them.
You did. Yeah.
And we bought the first set of frames off of eBay,
Mm-hmm.
and they were a frame that we had found in a store, in
Mm-hmm.
a glasses store, and we got the model number off of it. And I went and found them on eBay for what? It wasn't a third of the price; it was more like a quarter of the price.
Yeah, because I think you said it was like $35 for the frames.
Yeah. So I did that the first time, and he was so happy to have a new pair of glasses. Of course, he lost them.
Well,
And
the first time it was $70 for the frames.
was it?
Mm-hmm. This last time you found the same exact frame, it was like $35.
Yeah. So it's the same frame, and I went ahead and ordered them. They're not here yet.
Right.
Hopefully they'll be here any day now, and I can take them and have the prescription lens put in them, and we'll just hopefully have you two pair again back where we started.
That's right.
And I might get one of those tracking devices. I don't care how big, how gaudy, how ugly it looks, and I don't know how big it is, but I'm seriously thinking about trying to get something. I don't
Somebody
care if
showed that somebody sent us one that was small, and I swear
sent us a
now,
link to it.
It looked like it was made for glasses.
Well, it
kinda
wasn't
went-
the Apple one. It
No,
was
the Apple
another.
one's gaudy. It's really big.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, putting over that lens.
No, they looked like they had one that was specific for glasses.
Well, I'm gonna tell you,
Yeah.
after I get those prescription lens put in there, probably while they're in the process of being made, I'm gonna go ahead and order that tracking device.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
I'm gonna put it on my phone because you might lose your phone,
Yeah.
and that would, the tracking device would be gone then. So if I put it on my phone, then we won't have.
And here lately, I've been losing my phone.
Well, you have, and we have these Apple Watches that are not for looks or that we want to be in thing, but it helps us when we get notifications or if we need to answer something.
Yeah, it
comes
does.
up on the watch, and it has the ability to find your phone on it.
And I will say this: it'll ping your phone, and your phone will start going ding, 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 ding. Well, the last 2 times I've lost my phone or misplaced it, my phone was not in range.
Well, not only that, you have a tendency to turn it on vibrate.
Yeah, I usually leave my phone on vibrate.
I don't. I leave mine on all the time. I don't care how many dings it is. If I turn it off, I know there's a possibility I could misplace it or
Right.
something could happen. But you've misplaced yours, and we've not had the watch available, or your phone's been on vibrate, whatever.
But I found it.
Maybe we should put a tracker on my phone to find your phone.
We could do that.
You think that's possible?
That's possible.
I don't know, but I do remember the other day you were working on something and you said, we were ready to go.
Yeah.
And you said, I wonder where I put my sunglasses. And I turned around and looked at you and I said, they're over there by that water spigot. Do you remember
yeah,
that?
it was,
They were
yeah.
on the porch laying down.
That's
It's
right.
just an odd spot that you set your stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
And this is not knock on Jason morning. It's just the fact.
Yeah, usually with my glasses is what happens is it's hot outside, and if I'm in a situation where I got to be like hands on like this, I can see better without my glasses on or my sunglasses, and so I'll take them off, and then they'll just hang around my neck. Well, then if I'm working, they get in the way of me working, and I'm scared I'm gonna mess them up, so I'll just take them off and set them down, and then that's it. It's over. Game over. Game over.
My anxiety levels coming up here with you just talking about losing this stuff. So we're going to get off the subject of that and go on to something else. Not to say I don't lose things, but I just don't do it in the same fashion that you and Marycarl have a tendency to do.
Marycarl does it too. I'm working tape measures. I got to have at least 3 tape measures with me.
Well, we had lots of people that responded and said, paint them orange,
Yeah.
do this, do that. Well, we took all that into consideration, and maybe we'll do that, but it just hadn't.
Well, I will say this: somebody sent me, and I may have mentioned this in the last podcast, but we're getting a lot of glasses gifts from everybody. People are sending me straps and cases and all these things for my glasses, and I thank you so much. And then somebody sent me one, and I had 3 pair of glasses. These are my old pair. Then I got an old pair.
Where are your good ones? Your semi-good ones.
Semi-good ones. They're in the truck.
Oh, okay.
And they got this huge
Fluorescent strap.
fluorescent green or yellow strap that's this big around that'll float to it's like it's made for a fisherman, and it's huge. And
You hadn't lost them since you
I
put it on?
haven't lost them since. And it would be a situation where I'd have to put them on top of the truck or something. I think that I would lose them.
Well, that's going to happen, but just hadn't got there yet.
At least when I'm out near the water, they'll float.
What kind of water are you planning on attending? I need to find some water about right now. I need to go on a vacation that involves ocean and relaxation.
Something.
And so we are supposed to sign the papers on the house tomorrow.
Yeah,
on this house.
But we don't. Yeah, on this house. Yeah, this house will be officially closed tomorrow.
We hope.
We hope.
And that is, the lawyer says he's going to try to get everything together. And I tried to type in some questions this morning because I really didn't know what we were going to talk about. And I said, maybe I can find some good questions. Mm-hmm. And I didn't print anything out because I didn't really see anything that we could expand on. Mm-hmm. So we're just, randomly talking this morning. But one of the questions was, oh my goodness.
You didn't forget it.
Yeah, I forgot it. Where are the people coming from that are buying our house?
Yes.
Well, they're coming from Seattle, Washington.
And I was thinking, because we've been talking about how stressful it's been, and your stress level's been like a roller coaster, and can we get everything done, blah blah blah. And I didn't even think in consideration until yesterday, I think, when she told you that her stress level was at 25, and I was like, you know what? Just think about, we're stressing out. We're moving to another county.
Yeah, one county over.
An hour drive from here. They're moving from another state that's going to take them 3 to 4 days to get here.
It's about like another country as far away as they are. I meant to Google last night and I forgot how far of a drive is it from Seattle to here.
Let me look. You keep talking.
I don't know how far of a drive that is. We're going to find out. Jason's going to look while we talk, but I know that they will be leaving on Monday, and they don't know exactly how long it's going to take them to get here because, of course, they're going to stop and rest and, just take it a little bit at a time. Of course, they want to get here as quick as they can. 39 hours.
40 hours.
Oh, my gracious.
It's a 40-hour drive.
40-hour oh, my gracious.
So 4 days is about right.
Okay.
If you drove 10 hours a day for 4 days.
Oh, my gracious. Somebody tell me in one of the comments when I was looking for something to talk about, and they began their comment with, Brooke, you're losing it.
You're losing it.
I'm losing it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm losing it. I don't think I'm losing it.
You're not losing it.
They said that we should involve friends to move us and things like that. Well, it's not that simple. It's not like we have everything in the front of the house ready to be loaded up. That's
Plus, here's the biggest thing, in my opinion, about getting people to help us. Neither one of us work a normal, full-time,
8 to
Monday
5 job.
through Friday, full-time job. And most everybody we know does.
So that leaves us with the weekend, and who wants to take up their weekend?
So, yes, and so we have to take up somebody's personal time that they have on the weekend. And I know I got friends that would do it in a heartbeat.
And I do as well, but I'm not going to put anybody in that kind of position. I just don't feel like that's right. Yes, I've had people volunteer to help, and you have as well, but we have been working at a pace to where we can do it ourselves.
Yeah, because, we're every day.
Every
we
day.
Get up, we do the normal stuff around here, and then we start packing whatever needs to be packed. And then there's a lot of situations where, like this week, where just random stuff just pops up that we have to go tend to, especially with the house build and, getting the tiny house plumbed.
Yeah, it's just,
and
it's
like
not...
Wes and Angie from the Naked Hog, they're going to the Homestead conference in Virginia. And they said they would swing by here and stay a day or two and help us do stuff. And I told Wes, I said, man, I would love that. But, just that day, there was like 3 random things that just popped up. We had gone to the 40 almost 3 times that day. Then out of the blue, we had to go meet with the site guys because he wanted to ask some questions that that wasn't planned. So we got to talking to him, and then that led to him telling us about another contractor we ought to contact. So we rode over there, and it was just this, and this. And then, like out of the blue, the plumber called and wanted to go look at the tiny house about plumbing it.
Yeah.
So there's so many variables that it's just not a straight schedule that on this day we're going to do this, and that's it. It's just, it hasn't happened like that.
There was a time when we thought that we would need some help moving the furniture, but we have a dolly and we have a tractor and we have pods and we made it work. So we're at the home stretch and we're just not going to need any help.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think we've
It's
done
just
really,
easier
really well.
to not arrange for somebody to come and have something for them to do, us to do it ourselves.
Yep. Especially because you're going over there and coming back, and
it wouldn't have worked. So whether I'm losing it or not, that's yet to be determined. That was kind of ugly, though.
Maybe she was just being. You can't tell when somebody types something if they're being funny or not, because there's no one-on-one. If I said, Brooke, you're losing it. Or Brooke, you know what, girl, you're losing it. See the difference?
Yeah.
So there's no way to tell when somebody types something.
Well,
there's no emotion.
You're right, but I'm not losing it. Except for I went to go put some clothes in the washing machine a few minutes ago while you were putting the bird cages in the
horse trailer.
In the horse trailer, and I opened up the washing machine to put my detergent in, and there's clothes in there from yesterday. That I have no idea when I don't remember it. So maybe I am losing it.
Maybe so.
So I smelled them and they didn't smell, moldy, but I went ahead and washed them again just because they sat overnight.
Yeah.
And, they were damp, and So I'm washing them again before I put the second load in there. And I set the dirty clothes on the floor while I reran the washer because I didn't have any. I was prepared to put those dirty clothes directly in the washing machine. So I set them on the floor and I look, and Gidget loves dirty socks.
How many she have?
Well, she just found one that must have been really good, and she took off with that sock. And here I am, trying to get my clothes rewashed, and there's and she was just so proud of her dirty sock.
That's funny.
She took off with it, and
That's funny.
So that's where we are this morning with my nutty self.
That is where we are. It is. I was gonna say this. I haven't been like stressful, but I've been anxious. And we've had some news come up here about the house that's really made me anxious. And that is about 4 weeks ago, or just say 4 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago, metal was 2 to 3 weeks out. Mm-hmm. So we've still been getting prices of this and this, and we just got our house plans back, and we gave our house plans out to these people, the contractors and metal people, to give us pricing. And so as we're getting pricing and stuff back in, we've been told metal is as far out as 16 weeks now. And as earliest is, one company said 5 weeks.
Yeah, 5 weeks.
And then we had one say 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So anywhere from 5 to 16 weeks out. Here's the kicker is when we got started on this, we were told by various people that know to go ahead and when we can order our windows and doors because they are 8 to 10 weeks out.
Okay, so we ordered our windows and doors how long ago? 6 weeks ago?
At least 6 weeks ago.
So we got probably 2 more weeks and our doors and windows will be here.
Yes.
Doors and windows will be here and metal won't be.
Metal won't be here.
So we don't have anywhere to store these doors and windows. And the building supply company, I asked them when we ordered them, I said, can you, do you have a place to store them for us? And he said, no longer than 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And he said it just becomes a problem after that because
and I
things.
Understand.
Yeah. And I knew that ahead of time. He said things can get damaged and, things happen. So we try not to keep them any more than 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. Our front door is 8 foot tall.
And it's double.
And it's a double front door.
Mm-hmm.
Well, should I go over what happened with the pricing?
Well, the pricing was different than they originally quoted,
But the reason was because the plan that the architect drew up, even though he knew it was a metal building, he wasn't a metal architect.
Yeah.
Is that the best way to describe it?
I guess or he just didn't have experience of drawing plans for metal buildings.
Well, the benefit of metal buildings is that you use a lot less material because metal's obviously stronger than wood.
Yes.
And it can go great distances without
right.
support.
And there's no load-bearing walls
because
inside
it's beam
of a metal
supported.
building. The steel beams support the building. And the only reason we hired an architect was for me, because we're going to do the inside of the house ourselves. So I wanted something to go by to put the walls up with.
Well, and when we met with the architect, there was no way that he could draw just the interior
Correct.
without the exterior.
Without the exterior.
And so it never occurred to us when we got our plans back that he drew the metal differently than a metal company would put the building together.
Yes.
Because they say that the benefit of building a barn dominium is you can tell a metal building supplier the dimensions and they come up with the building prices.
You can show them a picture and then dimensions, and then they can go exactly off that.
Because they know exactly how much span of metal can go before you need a brace or whatever. So when we get our plans back, well, there's a lot more metal in that plan than what a metal building supplier would put in there.
And of course, we didn't know that.
We
didn't
didn't
know
know
the difference
that.
of it. So the pricing was way off. And
Double.
Yeah, it was double. And so that's also put a kink in some stuff. And then this week we're moving. And
So it's almost like we're back to square one with our pricing. We had an initial price that was based off the building size.
Yeah.
And we were very satisfied with that. So when we went back with the plans to show them exactly what it was going to involve, there was a lot more metal in that plan that was unnecessary.
Yes.
We didn't know it.
Right.
And the price doubled. So we're...
That and metal's gone up, creeped up a little bit, and I anticipated the price to be more because of the price of metal has gone up, but not double for sure.
But on a brighter note, you got Nuggets pen put together this week.
Got Nuggets pen put together. That thing's huge.
You sent me a picture of the tractor up under it.
Yeah, with room to spare.
And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But we went from the size that we have for the pigs, and this is the next size up.
Is it the next size up?
It's the next size up. It's the Shelter Logic brand. Isn't that what it's called?
Yeah, it's Shelter Logic brand. We're not sponsored by them or anything. We just had great luck. The pigs shelter's still there.
And man,
no issues at all. And the pigs I mean,
they're constantly doing like this up against it, and the tarp's looking a little rough. It's got some mud on it and this, that, and the other. But if it'll hold up to the pigs, it'll hold up to Nugget.
Yeah, and the other thing I was worried about, of course, was weather and wind, and it's gone through 2 tropical storms have come through here, and that's still there. Not to mention, we've seen what the wind's like over there.
That's right.
And we've had that pig shelter still there with no issues at all.
And so I've been impressed with it. And
I have been really impressed with it, and so that's why we went with this one. It's just way bigger. I think it is. I know it's 20 foot long,
8 foot tall, I believe.
8 foot tall, or maybe 9 foot tall. Anyways, regardless, 8 or 9 foot tall, and it is close to 11 foot wide. It's a little wider than 10 foot.
And I
so
ordered
it's pretty darn big.
I priced them from a lot of different places,
Yeah.
and most of them had the shipping, figured in the price. If it was free shipping, then the price was higher, and if it was shipping involved, the shipping would eat you up.
Yeah, because it's really heavy. It was really, really heavy. That box was very heavy, and so shipping was almost as much as the
building itself. So I found it at Home Depot, and it was free shipping to the store, as long as we went and picked it up from the store. And we did that a couple of months ago.
We did. We've had it in storage, and like I said earlier, I'm staying over there, and I got up early that morning and started putting it together. It says it took. I got kind of worried. It says it took 3 people to put this thing together, and I was like, "Ain't no way it take 3 people," but I could see why it would take 3 people to put it together. And it says 2 hours, and I think it took me 3.5 hours.
Yeah, I know it was at least a half a day. And so that was, it wasn't wasted time.
No.
But it had to be done.
Had to be done. And it wasn't hard to put together.
I'd like to see me trying to put it together.
It's just, and it's the same thing. It's just 5 of those ribs, and you have to put all 5 of those ribs together. And it's just,
tedious.
It's tedious. And the main thing is I had to stand them up and put them together. And they're 8 foot tall, and I had to get the tractor out. The tractor was my ladder. I know Greg was over there doing site work, and so he saw me on top of that tractor putting this thing together. But yeah, it was I could see 2 people for sure. You really needed 2 people. But I got it done.
All the while I was here cleaning out cabinets. My kitchen cabinets are completely cleaned out.
Nothing left.
As
a matter of fact, your kitchen cabinets are so cleaned out that I had me some sherbet last night, and I ate it straight out of the sherbet container.
I started thinking, I was like, you know what? I can't just take this stuff directly out of the cabinets over there without wiping the cabinets out.
Yeah.
I couldn't leave the new owners with nasty cabinets.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and got everything out, boxed it up, and wiped all the cabinets clean, got everything, orderly, and we are literally just eating what we can come up with because our food's basically gone out of our pantry.
Mm-hmm.
I've moved a lot of it to the tiny house. That's where I plan to do most of my cooking is in the tiny house. So I've moved, a lot of cans and spices and things that we need to cook with. Moved it over there already. And I have garbage bags full of stuff that I just threw away the boxes and kept the couple of things that was left out of it. But we have the horse trailer hooked up right now. We just put the bird cages that are empty. The bird cages are empty because the birds are all in the stackable hamster cages.
Right.
And I cleaned those out while you were putting Nugget shelter together. That's what I did.
Yeah, you cleaned all the bird
I cleaned
cages.
all the bird cages. We wanted to store them clean, and that way, we know we'll have to rinse them back out before they go back in it. But I didn't want any potential caked on bird seed or
Attract any varmints.
yeah. So we got all those clean, and they're ready to go over there and be stored. We're just kind of. We anticipate that tomorrow is going to take up a lot of time signing papers at the lawyer's office.
Yeah.
I would like to be out of here by Sunday. The pods will be moved Monday and Tuesday. Ours, which was the original pod, will be moved on Monday. And it's full of stuff. Mama's is about 3/4 of the way full, and we'll continue to get it stored. But we have a lot of stuff that's like glassware and pictures that we don't want to get broke. Once that pod gets over there, we plan to put these things in our car.
Yeah.
And take them and store them in the pod. So that'll fill up the remaining space. I just don't want space. I don't want the pod company picking up the pod with all the mirrors and breakable stuff in it. It'd be easier if it's sitting on the ground, then we store it in there.
Are they going to follow us over there? Or do we give them the address?
You know what we could do?
What?
We could get a pod to put the windows and doors in. We got a call from the garage door guy this past week, and he's had a date. It was like November 22nd. I didn't write it down, but they were 14 weeks out when we ordered them. So we went ahead and ordered those. So and he did tell me he had a warehouse that he could store them in if we're not ready. He has a warehouse to store them in. So that's good. I'm not worried about that. And hopefully by the end of November, we'll be close to having a building erected to where we can put the things in. But things aren't going quite as planned. I'm not to the point where I'm upset about it, but it's just a lot of things have gone a different direction than what we initially thought they would. I don't know. I don't know what'll happen, but we'll just take it day by day. Yesterday, you told me that you were going to start putting Scott's enclosure together.
I did.
Scott, Ozella, and Little O will need to be cooped up for a good little while until they figure out where they are, so they won't try to return home. Because that's just the animal's instinct, is to want to return home.
Right.
Just like when Stan and Kathy's emu went missing, and she went, 5 miles down the road? She found her way home because that's their instinct, is to know where their home is. So if we take Scott and Ozella and Little O over there and we release them, guess what's going to happen?
They're more likely going to disappear.
They're going to disappear. So we have a large enclosure that's probably going to take a couple of days, if I had to imagine, to put it together. And I feel like I'm going to have to help you with that one just because it's so much to it. It's big.
It's big.
It's 24 foot long.
Yep.
So you told me yesterday you're going to start working on that. And I said, no. I said, don't start working on that because the peacocks are something that is not going to be in their way here. If they get here and the peacocks are still here, it's not going to be a problem. We can come and catch the peacocks.
Right.
So I told you to go ahead and start finishing up the chicken tractor. And what needed to be done was the roost needed to be built. So you did that yesterday.
I did.
And we were going to put the rubberized undercoating. Is that what you call it?
Bed liner.
Yeah,
truck bed, paint.
On the metal to keep it from rusting and to protect it from the chicken feces. And so Marycarl and I took a load over there and we left you there in your truck. And you painted it.
I did. And I got the roost built.
You painted the floor, got the roost built. So all that's left before we can move chickens is putting in the automatic door.
Put an automatic door in and building a ramp. And we got to move the nesting boxes.
Yeah, that won't be a big deal. But I think we'll load all the hens up and the roosters at night.
Yes.
And we'll take them over there in the horse trailer.
I say we need to do that at night, too.
Yeah, we got to do it at night. There's no way we can wrestle with chickens trying to...
I was just saying that we shouldn't catch them and put them in the enclosure.
Oh, no.
And then wait till the next morning.
No. We need to do it all in one night.
All in one night.
Soon as they go to roost, 6:30 or so, we can start loading them into the trailer. It might be 11 o'clock before we get done, but we can spend the night over there, and we can have the chickens all in their new tractor, and we'll leave them locked up for 2 weeks is what we're going to
That's what we're thinking. There's a lot of people saying it only takes 3 days. I've had people say it only takes 5, 7 days.
Well, in our experience,
just want to make sure. That's all. We just want to make sure that they're going to go back up.
In our experience, if we do it sooner than what we anticipate, we have those stragglers that don't know where to go, and it becomes a problem having to pick one stray up, putting them back in. So we want them all to know where they're supposed to go to roost. All know where they're supposed
to go. And I think while we got them all caught, that we may clip wings too.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too. And Marycarl informed me that her mallards are molting right now, which means they can't fly.
So she's thinking about trying to catch them?
She's thinking about trying to catch them. And she said that, the ones that can't fly right now, we could catch them and we could take them.
Okay.
And as long as they can't fly, then they're not going to leave their place.
I got you.
So we'll just catch what we can.
Catch what we can.
And I think we'll start feeding. We'll start opening the gate, and one day we'll catch all the ducks because they'll be in that chicken coop enclosure.
Right.
Here I act like we have many days left. We don't, but I think in between Monday through Thursday, while they're making their journey, we can make that happen.
Okay.
So I want to take the turkeys and put them in with the chickens in the chicken tractor.
Okay, that'll work.
Because Nugget's not going to be in that pen.
No, Nugget's going to be, and we need to figure out who's going to go in there with Nugget so he's not by himself.
Yeah, I saw the cutest little alpaca for sale the other day.
Near us?
Yeah, it was in Alabama.
Really?
Yes, and it was 8 weeks old, and it was so cute. And do you know how close I was to contacting them? And I thought to myself, you know what Jason's going to say if I bring in an animal at this point? He's not going to like it very much.
I even, I think I mentioned in the video of me recording, putting Nugget's thing together, that we thought about getting him a donkey or a miniature donkey to go in there with him too.
Oh, an alpaca is just so cute.
The only thing I worry about alpacas or llamas is having to shave them, and I know that's just not our forte.
It's not, and that's why I didn't message them. There was like 200 and something comments in just a matter of...
Maybe I ought to talk to Daniel about it, Daniel Arms. They got alpacas, and ask him, what's the...
Well, Julie used to have alpacas.
Well, she had llamas.
No, she had alpacas too.
Did she?
At different times.
Llamas.
No,
okay.
She had alpacas too. And she lost some when it got so hot outside. Really? She used to have some misting, sprinklers and stuff to try to keep them cool. And she lost some one summer when it was extremely hot because they obviously don't have a way to sweat and to keep themselves cool.
And I thought they were from the Middle East. I thought they could handle. Maybe I'm wrong on that.
She had a problem and she lost some. And
well, I know Daniel has them, and he's in Oklahoma, so maybe they don't get his.
Well, I didn't contact, and I didn't get the cute little 8-week-old alpaca, but I would like to have something different. And I'll tell you something funny. Okay.
And I want something to get along.
Oh yeah, we want it to get along.
Get along with Nugget, so.
And he has a tendency now when something's new, he doesn't like it.
He doesn't like it, but he eventually, after a few days, once he realizes that it's there, he usually doesn't mess with it anymore. And if it's something big like a alpaca or a donkey,
but if it's a baby, then it's might get picked on. I thought initially we just put the ducks in his area.
We can.
Because they eat the same food.
Yeah.
So, just for a companion, we could put the ducks in there. And Marycarl agreed. She thought that would be a good thing. If there were some special ducks that she wanted to keep separate, she could put them in the chicken coop. But
correct.
We could separate them.
Yeah, we can definitely
could put the geese in there with Nugget maybe and put the ducks. It's going to be interesting. It's really going to be interesting once we start moving animals to
me, the goats are going to be the ones that are going to love it more than anybody.
Oh, I can't wait to see how they react.
The goats are going to love it. That's the only issue I got about the goats is they overeat and get bloat because they're going to be so much grass. But goats are not big grazers anyways. So
they're going to be when they get on this grass and they never have had any.
Yeah, that's what I kind of worry about that a little bit. But maybe not. Maybe they'll be fine.
Well, you mentioned to me yesterday that you thought we ought to cut the grass in their enclosure
before we move them.
Yeah, and I agree. I think I don't know when we're going to do this.
What I thought about is that I'll spend the night over there and wake up early one morning because I get up early anyways and just start cutting some grass in there.
We'll see. Or we could take the riding lawnmower even.
Yeah, we could do that too. I even thought about it as well.
And that would be easy to,
Yeah.
just kind of cut it real quick because the paddocks are big, but they're not so big that it would take all day to cut or
Right.
anything. It might be a little much grass for the riding lawnmower. Speaking of, one of the questions was, what about our little tractor?
Yes.
Our little tractor is here, and we've been using it to move, different things with.
Mm-hmm.
And the new owners are possibly going to purchase it from us.
Yes.
So they're going to need something.
They're going
here.
to need something here because there'll be maintenance here. It's a gravel driveway, and
we went 2 years
so
without a tractor when
I don't
we
know
built
how we did it.
without a tractor when we built this house, and the driveways, just over extended periods of rain, it has to be scraped.
Has to be scraped, and especially because we're on a hill, so we have to scrape it.
And we would use shovels and rakes and
Yeah.
wheelbarrows
Yeah.
for 2 years before we bought the tractor.
And then I've said it many a times over the years in our videos is that you do not know how much you use a tractor, no matter what size it is, especially if it's got a bucket or whatever attachments, until you get one.
Yes.
That bucket on that tractor has been a lifesaver, moving hay, moving feed, using it to just
To scrape the
everything.
driveway, if
To
nothing
scrape
else.
the driveway, to dig a ditch with, to pick up the worm bin. I mean, you just find a
Multiple
million
uses.
things that you use that tractor for that you normally. I mean, we even used it to cut bushes and tree limbs with. You pick me up in the bucket. I mean,
Right.
there's just so many things we've used this tractor for over the years.
Well, when you have acreage or any, gravel driveway, you have to have some way to maintain it.
Yeah,
If you
maintain it.
don't, then you're going to constantly be calling somebody to come and scrape your driveway for you when you could get out there and do it with your tractor and box blade at any time you want to.
Right.
So whether they buy ours or not, they're going to have a tractor.
Yeah, they'll see that. They'll have to have something, or either have somebody that they know can come over here and help out.
Well,
with
they're
it,
from
so.
Seattle, so they don't
Yeah,
really know anybody,
right.
but Victor and Ruth down the road have reached out to them,
Mm-hmm.
sent them an email, and welcomed them to Alabama. But Victor and Ruth don't have a tractor.
They
so
don't have a
That's not
tractor.
going to help them out very much.
No, but
So that's where our little tractor is. It's here, and
Yes.
it's up for grabs for them. We've already talked about it, and they are very interested in it. So we'll see. We're just going to leave it here for them to look at, and if they want to keep it a couple of weeks and see what they think, then we'll decide later.
right.
But that's our plan, is to let them have first dibs on it, and then after that, if they're not interested, then we'll make it available for somebody else to purchase, because we definitely don't need two tractors.
Yeah, I don't.
Well,
we
I
just,
take that back. We might need two tractors, but we're not going to keep two tractors.
yeah, we discussed that, thinking maybe we ought to keep it, and maybe we could use it, and so
I
but
just don't want to
I-
keep up,
yeah.
maintenance on two tractors.
I don't see how it would help any.
Nah.
If it was a bigger tractor,
Yeah.
maybe, but
Yeah, maybe if it was bigger, we could hook a bush hog to it, and you could
could
get on
cut,
one side,
yeah.
and I could get on the other. But
exactly. I was thinking yesterday when we were moving stuff around, I'm so grateful we did not get that 2501.
yeah, me too.
Which
That
is smaller than ours.
4701 is what we have. It's a 47 horsepower. I am so glad that we bought used, and we bought the bigger tractor.
Yeah. It's almost twice as much as the 2501, and the 2501's good bit bigger than what we have here.
Yeah,
the little
but it
bitty
wouldn't
one.
have been sufficient for what we're doing.
No, it would not have been. I'm
would not have
so
been.
grateful we did not get the tractor.
You know what would have happened? We would have been trying to sell it and buy
Buy a
another
bigger
one.
one. We
And-
really would have.
You were sick during that time.
I was sick.
With, I don't know what it was, respiratory something. It wasn't COVID. You never tested positive, but that was back in March.
Mm-hmm.
And I went and bought the tractor by myself. We found it for about the same price as a new 2501.
Correct.
And we bought the 4701. We thought we were buying too big of a tractor.
We really did thought we were big, and we could probably use bigger.
We probably could. We
Yeah.
probably could use bigger. There's a John Deere in Maplesville for sale that has a cab on it, and it has a disc on the back
There's a
of
disc
it.
on the back of it.
But it doesn't have a for sale sign or anything. Well, somebody sent a message and said to tell Daniel Arms that there's a John Deere for sale in Maplesville. And I sent her a message back, and I said, I saw that tractor for sale, but I didn't see a for sale sign on it. And I asked her, did she know how much they wanted for it? Not that I want it, but I just wondered.
Yeah, I was just curious.
And she never messaged me back.
Okay.
But I wonder if that tractor is for sale because it's got a cab on it.
It's
Need a
nice.
cab.
It's
It
a
is.
nice
It's really
tractor.
nice, and it looks. I could see plastic on the seat, so I don't know if it's really that new or if they just took good care of it.
Got a feeling it would be a lot of money. John Deere's are, I mean,
Oh.
Kubotas are well-known tractor, and it's kind of like Chevy people and Ford people, Kubota
Yeah.
and then John Deere.
Well, Eugene,
But John Deere seem to be on the higher end when it comes to,
yeah, that green means money.
it does mean money.
Our guy that lives across the street from us is kind of funny because everything we have is orange on our farm,
Yeah.
from side by side to tractor
Yeah.
to, and then everything he has is green.
Yeah, he's doing that John Deere.
Yeah, he's got a John Deere riding lawnmower. He's got
That's
a John
right.
Deere big tractor. He's got a John Deere tag on the front of his truck. So, it's almost like it's
Yeah.
like Alabama Auburn across
Yep.
the street with Kubota
That's
and
right.
John Deere.
I always think of Ford and Chevy.
I'm ready to cut some grass. I'm now that we started thinking about moving goats and such as
Our
that.
grass is so tall
Oh,
because
my
it has not been
gracious,
cut
y'all.
in a month.
And speaking of, I want to talk about this before we get off. We were at the land the other day, and somebody drove up in a white car.
Yeah.
And Greg was there doing site work
Mm-hmm.
on he's finishing up the pad. And so I was on the tractor and you didn't see the car turn in, and I pointed to you, and I first thought it was Miss Kathy from down the road, and then I quickly realized that was somebody I didn't recognize.
Mm-hmm.
And so I saw you talking to him. So I cut the tractor off and I went over and I listened to what y'all were talking about. And this lady was missing her dog.
She was on vacation, and they were camping. Come to find out, they were camping. She told me about they were on a camping trip, and the person that was babysitting her puppy lives close to the 40, and the husband was bringing groceries in, and she got loose and darted out and went towards our property. So she was, wondering, could she walk around and stuff. Of course, we told her, yeah, absolutely. Go walk around, do what you need to do. And
We had not seen the dog.
We haven't seen the dog.
It was a little miniature poodle, and her name was Moo, M-O-O,
Because she's black
she
and
looked
white.
like a moo cow.
Yeah.
And she showed us a picture of her, and we hadn't seen the dog. We had been down to the barn.
Yeah,
and
we hadn't seen her.
She had looked at the map, the geographical
yeah.
map, and she said it looks like on the map that there's a structure. And I'm thinking she might be in that structure. And we said, there's a barn down there. We said, but we've been down there and we haven't seen anything.
Haven't seen her. Plus, the barn's enclosed. There's no way, I don't think possible that she could get in a barn.
So we gave her permission, to walk wherever she wanted to. And we told her we'd be on the lookout. We took her phone number. If we see your dog, we'll definitely call you. So she went and looked, and she said, I don't see anything. Please keep your eyes open. And so about that time, she left. Greg's finishing up, and we're talking to him about what else we want him to do. And we made a comment that lady was looking for a dog, and he said, a little black and white dog about this big. And we said, yeah. He said, she ran right by me when I was on the bulldozer.
Said the bulldozer didn't even phase her. So we called her and let her know, and I think she came back over there that evening and looked around some more. And since then, it's been seen a couple of more times on our property. We haven't seen her.
I have not seen her. Our grass, that's what made me think about
so
it.
tall.
Our
Yeah.
grass looks like, it wasn't this tall when we bought the property.
No.
And that 4701 is going to come in real handy when I go to cut it. I told Marycarl, I said, it's going to take me 6 days to cut that grass because
It's
I'm going to have to
tall.
go so slow.
Yeah, it's pretty tall. But it's mainly because we just didn't have time. We haven't had zero time
We have not had time. And
to cut the grass. I bet people thinking that's going to be some pretty hay when they get through.
I bet they're thinking those people, when they first bought this place, they kept it up real nice. And now they might not be the neighbors we thought they
They
were going
probably
to be.
see that tall grass and all the stuff we got everywhere.
They probably think we're junkers.
Oh my gracious, these folks.
But back to the little dog. Marycarl and I were over the other day, and we rode around on her side by side. The grass was literally taller than Marycarl's side by side, and the seeds off the bahia were coming in our teeth
Yes.
and blowing in our face. And Marycarl was doing like this, and So we did not see the dog. We looked everywhere, and the lady's beginning to give up hope.
Yeah, no. I think she said yesterday it's been 2 days since it's been seen. So hopefully she'll. I mean, my fingers are crossed.
And Jason left some food and water out for her.
I left food and water out for her, and then I opened up all the gates in the paddocks, just thinking that there's a chance I'm over there, and she were to go into one of those paddocks, I could close the gate behind her and have
call
her
the owner.
and call the owner. That would be the ideal situation, because it seems like the poor puppy is not out of element, because they live actually not a long ways away, but I'm guessing 40 minutes or so away, because they live in Montevallo, and so she's totally out of her element. So
she
she's
didn't know where to
scared
go.
and nervous, and that they even seen her, and called her, and she shot off, and so
she just doesn't know.
Yeah.
She's not.
Yeah. So
I sure hope she's found, and we're definitely, we gave them the ability to go on our property anytime they wanted to.
Anytime they
and
want to.
Of course, we've looked and we've got our eyes open. We've done everything we can, and we hope Moo is found, but it's not looking good.
Hopefully Moo is found. I even thought about telling her to get a live trap and set out. Like one of those big cage ones.
Yeah. There's no telling what we'd trap in.
I know it. That's the other thing that I thought about too. Is no telling what we trap in it.
There's
Raccoon
no telling.
or a possum or something
But
like that.
I felt so guilty because she wasn't able to walk through the area that she was spotted because the grass is so tall.
Yeah, the grass is tall.
And, I feel like if that grass was shorter, then she would be easily spotted because she is white with black on her.
Mm-hmm.
And Marycarl said, Mama, she's going to be easy to be seen because she's white. And it's just that the grass is so tall, she would be hidden.
Yeah.
So, anyway, y'all have thoughts about us, where we're going to put our windows and doors and what we're going to do about the building, the metal being that many weeks out and all that bad stuff. And
Could be worse though.
oh, I
Could be
totally
worse.
agree. I mean, this is minute compared to, it's not like it's somebody's life. It's
It can be worse.
It's something that can be controlled.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things we can't control, but this we can control. So, making something big out of something small is not what we're after.
Yeah, it can be worse.
It could be worse.
Yep.
So next time y'all see us, we will not be in this same position.
Probably not. Probably going to take this disc apart and start loading this podcast equipment up and taking it to the 40 over there. Of course, the disc won't fit in the camper.
No, it won't. But we'll put the equipment in there, and next time y'all see us, it'll just be some different scenery, and maybe we'll have some smiles on our faces, knowing that we are home free. Free. Well, and I literally mean home free. We won't have a home.
Yeah, we'll home free, but we'll be in one place.
One place, not two places. Yeah. It's still going to be some, going back and forth for a little bit, and we'll make that work. But hey, we've been doing this for months, so we have been doing it for months. It's kind of going to be a relaxing scenario once we are all under one roof at one place versus two places.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've loved this home for 17 years, and it's somebody else's time to love it.
That's right. So
we're gonna make ourselves make things work for the next who knows how long.
That's right.
In a camper with 3 dogs and 3 birds and 1 child, and yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Well, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Y'all be good.